Good afternoon and welcome to our lunchtime news at 1. I am Monica Lewinsky and this is Swecho TV. Now on to our first story. In a seeming about turn, Democracy for the Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua is retreating from his abrasive stance on smaller opposition parties in the Mount Kenya region, saying there is no need for infighting within what he terms as the one-term team. The former deputy president now says he will convene a meeting of all political parties from the Mount Kenya region for talks on forming a coalition, which he has dubbed the Hyena Coalition.
Sisi tunajua adui yetu. Na hapa we have no problem with each other. We have one common enemy. Na nimeona vyama vingine watu vijana wamepotea. Please, nataka kuomba within this coalition, let us focus on Kenya's problem. Shida ya Kenya na William Ruto. Tusipigane hapa sisi na wenyewe. Vyama ya hapa mlimani ni karibu 30. Karibu 16 wamenitafuta usiku, nasema tumesikia umesema utamuomba Justin Muturi atuite pamoja, na wamefurahi sana. Sisi tunataka wale chama yote ya one term ya hapa mlimani, Muturi atuite zote, tutengeneze coalition ya hapa mlimani ya vyama ya one term. Na kwa sababu tumetukanwa na Duale, tunataka tukubali hiyo jina. Tunataka tuite the Hyena Coalition. Viti gine ya governor, senator, women rep, MP, MCA, hakuna zoning. So wewe kuja, weka mtu hapa Nyeri, weka kila pahali. Lakini watu tayari wameamua chama yao.
Now on to other matters. President William Ruto has ordered that the term watchman be expunged from all government legal documents and policies, directing that private security personnel be officially referred to as private security officers. The head of state also called on private security companies to enforce the minimum wage for their employees. He issued the directive at State House, Nairobi, while meeting more than 5,000 security guards who had converged to present their grievances.
Officers wangu wananiambia tuko na watu 27,000 hapa. Na hiyo ndio mkutano mkubwa sana kufanyika hapa State House.
Kwenye kabila, serikali na dini.
Lazima nichukue hatua.
Wengi wamekaa. Tumesema ni kazi kama kazi nyingine yoyote. Na tumekubaliana ya kwamba lazima tuwe na career progression. Mtu akiingia kazini lazima ajue akifanya kazi vizuri atasonga mahali gani, na akifanya kazi vizuri zaidi atapanda namna gani. Kwa hivyo regulations ya private security itabadilishwa ili kuwe na career progression path ya private security officers.
Tusikubali taifa letu liongozwe na mtu mwenye hasira. Mtu ambaye anapenda kulipiza kisasi.
Ambaye iliyoko mahali hapa, kila mara tunaitwa watchman, lakini unapotazama, naomba jina hilo likaweze kubadilishwa.
Nchi kuna minimum wage mwananchi analipwa, and that is not negotiable. We can negotiate about anything else. Kwa hivyo kampuni za private security, mimi niko tayari kuketi chini na nyinyi ndio tuweze kuhakikisha ya kwamba kama mko na changamoto tuwasaidie, lakini hawa watu muwalipe pesa zao.
Now elsewhere, despite the grief and pain of losing their king, the family of the late psychiatrist Dr. Victoria Ndesei Mutiso has extended forgiveness to those responsible for her killing. Describing the loss as one that caused unimaginable pain, Dr. Victoria's husband, Professor David Musimi Ndetei, said he had chosen to leave vengeance to God as he mourned the devastating loss of his wife. Speaking during a memorial service at Sitam Church in Nairobi, family, friends, and colleagues paid tribute to Dr. Mutiso's its life and legacy.
The body of the late Dr. Victoria Mutiso arrived at Sitam Valley Road Church in Nairobi on Thursday for a memorial service filled with sorrow. Friends and colleagues gathered to honor her life and offer their condolences. In his tribute, her husband, Professor David Musimi Ndete, described her as a loving mother, his soulmate, and the foundation of their family. He said her death had caused deep pain and left a huge gap in their life. At the tragedy, Professor Ndete told mourners that he had forgiven those behind her death.
We hurt very much, but I have forgiven those who hurt my family beyond human comprehension. We all know bitterness against him, but God's purpose will prevail, not theirs. He still sits on his throne. He will avenge for us.
Close friend of the late Dr. Mutiso, Anne Munteu, said the doctor had contacted her on July 14th, revealing that she had survived another suspected attack after the allegedly escaping an attempted shooting.
We spoke was on 14th of July, and she told me she used to call me Kalondu. That's my nickname. She said, Kalondu, imagine I've just survived another gunshot. And even after she told me that, she gave me a testimony, like me kwanza nimestuka, but she's testifying and she's very jovial.
In emotional tributes, the children of Dr. Victoria Mutiso, David Ndete Jr. and Christine Musime described the loss of their mother as a painful moment that deeply affected the entire family.
On the 29th of July, she called me at 9:10 in the morning. She was very happy. And I knew there was a moshene coming. And by that 9:39, I called her. She didn't pick up. I wasn't worried because I knew probably the phone was in her bag. I got to the office. I called her again at 10. She didn't respond.
She left behind a world that was full of chaos, one that was cruel, one of the sweetest souls that the sun has ever sustained. And I realized that on the evening she passed on, the moon was the brightest it has ever been in my entire life. It was a partly cloudy night, but I remember the clouds parting for one of the most beautiful full moons that I had ever seen. This is going to be the hardest pill to swallow, be it now, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, the next decade. But I know that she is singing with the angels, something that she has always talked about, and I hope that she is happy wherever she is.
You are not just our auntie, but our mom. You treated us as your very own children. Whenever we had milestones and activities at home, Auntie Vicky never missed.
Mutiso was killed in Nairobi's Upper Hill area while on her way to work in a taxi. Police have arrested 4 suspects linked to the murder as investigations point to a possible land and property dispute as the motive. She will be laid to rest today at her family home in Wanzauni, Mboni, Makueni County. Reporting for Swecho TV, I'm Dedan Jack.
Now on to matters education. The Ministry of Education has defended the proposed tertiary education placement and funding bill, saying it will help achieve the government's target of 100% transition to institutions of higher learning. Appearing before the National Assembly Education Committee, 3 principal secretaries from the Ministry of Education explained that the proposed fund will draw from a combination of government grants, borrowing through the capital markets, parent savings, student loan repayments, and soft loans to meet the growing fund demands, which are projected to reach 230 billion shillings annually by 2030.
Sasa wangu wananiambia tuko na watu 27,000 hapa. Na hiyo ndio mkutano mkubwa sana kufanyika hapa State House.
Kwenye kabila, serikali na dini.
Kamoto lazima nchukue hatua.
Hii tumesema ni kazi kama kazi ingine yoyote. Na tumekubaliana ya kwamba lazima tuwe na career progression. Mtu akiingia kazini lazima ajue akifanya kazi vizuri.
The families of 4 young men believed to have been abducted by security officers marched through the streets of Nairobi today, demanding their immediate release or presentation before a court of law. Macmillan Kiari, Michael Olo, Evans Otieno, and Abdulaziz Ali were allegedly picked up 48 days ago and have not been seen since, raising growing concerns over the resurgence of enforced disappearances. Accompanied by human rights defenders, the group marched to Parliament, police headquarters, at Vigilance House and Jogo House, where they complained of police inaction. Police spokesperson Mushiri Nyaga told the demonstrators that investigations into the alleged abductions are still ongoing. Faith Otieno with more report.
Wearing t-shirt displaying the names of Macmillan Kiari, Michael Olo, Evans Otieno and Abdulaziz Ali, also known as Zizo, families of the 4 men reported missing from Mathare and Kiamaiko marched into Nairobi city center carrying placard calling for their release. They demanded answers over the alleged abduction. From Jivanji Gardens, the group of women marched along Windibigo Street, Kenyatta Avenue, Kimathi Street, City Hallway, and Parliament Road. Families shared their painful experiences since they last saw their loved ones, who were their main source of support and income.
Na amani kwa nyumba, nimekuwa mnyonge, nimekuwa na stress, kila siku nawaza usiku na mchana, nashindwa mtoto wangu kwani alitenda makosa gani haya?
Kama wamekosa, wachukuliwe, wapelekwe kotini, wafunguliwe mashtaka, washtakiwe, wafungwe, badala hatujui kule watoto wako, hatujui kama wako hai ama wamekufa.
The group's first stop was at Parliament Building, where the grieving women sought to meet MPs. They accused lawmakers of remaining silent as cases of abduction and disappearance continue to rise. After failing to secure a meeting, they moved to Vigilance House, where they voiced their concern over police action.
Sazila wanaharakati wameongea vibaya kuhusu president. DCI wanawashika na wanatoa katika kwa zile mashimo wamejificha. Mbona isifanyike hivyo? Sazila watoto wamepotea. Mbona the same machinery ya serikali isitumike kuhakikisha ya kwamba hawa vijana wamepatikana?
Tumeona impunity ya hali ya juu. Na kama wamama tunasema enough is enough. Juzi tu Eric alipigwa hadi akakufa kwa polisi ya Muthaiga. Police are meant to protect us, but they have become the very danger that we are afraid of this country.
Their final stop was at Jogo House, the office of Inspector General Police Douglas Kanja, who oversees police operation. The family appealed to him to intervene and help trace their son, whom they say have been missing and are living through a difficult ordeal.
Anytime that you are called to the court, the Inspector General himself and the DCI has appeared in court. We appreciate the fact that you acknowledge that the process is ongoing. We have to submit ourselves to the Constitution and our courts. So at the appropriate moment, these answers are going to be provided.
The families say they have searched for their loved one in police station, hospitals and morgues, and have now turned to court filing habeas corpus cases. They say they will continue with street protests as they seek answers about the whereabouts of the 4 missing men. Reporting for Swecho TV, I'm Faith.
You're watching Swecho TV. We'll take a short break and be right back with sports news. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Now on to sports news. The Kenya's boys under-18 hockey team stamped its authority at the Youth Africa Cup with 2 emphatic victories on the opening day of competition at the Sikh Union Club. Kenya started with a huge 9-4 win over South Africa in the first match of the tournament, got free-feathered Daniel Mundi, Peter Washira, and captain Kelvino tormented South Africa in the comfortable 5-goal win. In their second match of the day, the Kenya boys hammered Nigeria 10-5 to win by 5 goals again. While the boys were flying high, the girls started on the wrong footing, losing 5 to Africa. The game was tight at 3 before South Africa scored twice in the final minute. In the second match, the Kenya team thrashed Uganda 7 to get back on track. 6 more matches will be played on today. And on to other sports news. Gor Mahia are just hours away from a major East African showdown as Kogalo take on Rwanda's Rayon Sports in the Sekafa Kagame Cup final tonight in Kigali. After surviving a dramatic semi-final against Al Hilal, Gor Mahia now have one final hurdle between them and regional glory. Denny Shodera with the report.
For Gor Mahia, this is more than just a final. It is a chance to end a 41-year wait for the Sekafa Kagame Cup. Kogalo booked their place in the final after edging Sudanese giants Al Hilal 8-7 on penalties, following a 1-1 draw in regulation time. But standing in their way is a determined transport side, backed by a passionate home crowd and equally hungry for continental success. Gor Mahia will need to match Rayon's intensity while keeping their composure in what is expected to be a fiercely contested battle. With history, pride and regional supremacy at stake, all roads lead to Kigali tonight. For Swecho TV Sports, I'm Denish Odera.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. You're watching Swecho TV and you can find us in all social media platforms at Swecho TV Kenya. Have a good afternoon.